All right, re-entries right here at 15,914. Here's the most recent low of the impulsive trend. So if you guys can look at, whenever I'm looking at a specific trending move, the only thing I'm trying to identify are the lows and highs of the previous impulses. Because if I can find those, I can find just about anything else on the charts. So here's the low to the high of this impulse. Then we had a correction. So here's the low to the high of this impulse. And then now we're in the middle of a correction. So based on this correction, the 88.6 would land us right here at the previous daily zone of resistance to support. And you guys, I know that there's wicks that go through the zone, but just look at the body of the candlesticks. The body of the candles close below, body of the candlesticks close above. And so that's going to be the next area of interest for me is 15,914. Welcome back, everybody, if you're watching this on YouTube, and welcome if this is your first stream. My name is Roy Dunya. I'm the co-founder of Chart Addicts. I'm a full-time day trader and arguably one of the most skilled NASDAQ technicians in the world today. Quick reminder for all of you that we're only 9 days away from the NAS100 Masterclass. The Masterclass is a 3-day program. Well, it's 4 days now, but it's a 3-day program that's dedicated to ensuring that everyone learns my strategy. They learn exactly how I make decisions on the charts, and you learn how to optimize so that you can continue to see success while you're trading NAS100. You can also apply these strategies to any other trading instrument as long as they follow a technical analysis chart and as long as you can trade them on, I don't want to say a CFD broker, but you can still trade them on spot as opposed to having to trade them through futures or options. So NAS100 Masterclass is 9 days away. We're 38 days away from the end of the year, people. 38 days left, long time. Everyone's like, well, it's only a month. I'm just going to write off the rest of the year and I'll start thinking about 2024. Nope, get your ass back here. You're going to make sure that you're building momentum so that you hit the ground running in 2024. Clear? So number one priority, this is stream number 62 out of 100 because we're doing a 100-day sprint for consistency to show you guys what consistency looks like to show up every single day. We had a stream yesterday on Thanksgiving. A lot of people thought I was going to fake. I never fake. If I make you a promise, I'm going to stick to my promise. Not a lot of trades lining up today, but just keep in mind that those are the deadlines for the next, the next most important things. Oh, there's also another one. There's 9 days left until the NAS100 Masterclass. That's December 3rd to the 6th. There's also going to be the deadline for coaching. If you guys want to get coached by me personally for 2024, the deadline is December 3rd. I'm only taking on 3 more students for December, and then we're locking it up. And then January, once this recent round of coaching students graduates, everybody is satisfied and ready to go. Trading plans have been set. The goals and milestones have been set, and they're all in the field. Then I'll be taking on 5 new students in, I believe, late January. So if you guys want to get coached by me, get ready for 2024. Your deadline is December 3rd. If you guys wanted to get access to the NAS100 Masterclass, which should be all of you, that is also December 3rd. That's 9 days away. All right. What are we going to cover today? I'm going to give you guys updates on the fundamentals, what's happening between Russia, Ukraine, what's happening Israel, Palestine, the Federal Reserve's potential moves going into the next 2 weeks before the next Fed meetings. And then I want to explain what's happening in the brokerage and the prop firm space. Prop firms right now, I'm going to put them off to the side. Angelo actually texted me. He said he wants to do a podcast. Probably going to fake again, but we'll see. If he still wants to do that podcast, he's going to have a full chance to get out and express himself. 2 more pieces of info here, because I know that we're going through some housekeeping this morning. Matt Charts graciously got on last time on the stream and offered me a free funded account. And then so did Angelo from the Funded Trader. Now, in case you guys don't know, I've had horrible experience with the Funded Trader. They slipped the shit out of my trades. I was very close to passing a $400,000 challenge, and there was a ton of self-dealing, manipulation, and latency on the platform that completely messed up my trades. So he offered a free account. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and try it again. What I'm going to do is take the same exact trades that we're all taking here, the same ones I'm taking on my account, on both of those platforms. And I'm going to see the difference in profits based on the trading conditions. And we're going to have our answer. Which one is going to have the better trading conditions for this strategy? Is it Matt Charts, Blue, I forgot the name. Fuck. Blue something? Or is it going to be the Funded Trader with Angelo? We'll see. Are you guys excited about this? And if you guys can give me a guess, put a 1 if you think that the funded trader is going to have better conditions. Put a 2 if you think that the Matt Charts prop firm is going to have better conditions. 1 for the funded trader, 2 for the Matt Charts prop firm. Let me know which one you guys think is going to have the better conditions. I'm going to trade both live in front of all y'all. Every single trade I take on those accounts, you will get a chance to take as well. All right, this is not financial advice, but damn, this is about to be fun. Justin Lawver says Blue Guardian. Huh. I can't wait to graduate the masterclass and finish this year strong. Well, Jensen, you're not doing too bad, buddy. He said you're doing pretty fucking good for yourself. Excuse my language. So I would say that you're definitely on the right track. Graduating is going to give you such a clear playbook for next year that you're going to be foaming at the mouth waiting for next year's markets to open. But it's also important, Jensen, that January is going to be low volatility. And so you're going to have to basically use that time to prepare a strategy for the year, use that time to review your trading for this year, and just try your best not to burn up your chips before the markets really start moving. Because once you learn this strategy, you're going to be like, please, I want to trade anything and everything that has a pulse. But there is that patience aspect that we got to keep in mind. Everblue, I think, is what it's called. Yeah, I believe you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Sky Blue. Blue Guardian is what it's called, or Everblue or some shit. Blue Guardian? Okay. Guys, you know what I'm saying? It's about blues. As long as there's no red MT4s around, I can get behind it. But it seems like it's half and half, and this is why we do experiments, because there's only one way to tell. I'm going to have to take both accounts, put them side by side, and make sure that we take the same exact trades on both, so we get an accurate feel for which one is good. Now, there's also another thing. Besides just trading conditions, there's also a massive question of the payout. Like, are they liquid enough to pay me out, and are they solvent, which means can they stay in business after a couple big payouts? So I'm going to try both. Now, I am a public figure and I'm a very vocal person, and so I would not be surprised if they did a little bit of shady business and gave me a few accounts with some special trading conditions just to kind of show me, oh dude, look at the trading conditions on here. And then both are respectfully garbage, honestly. Brian, I believe you, bro. I believe you, but are you going to turn down a free funded account, Brian? You tell me. I appreciate the insight. We'll stay patient, of course, brother. Hey, brother, can you give us a discount for the masterclass? I'd like to be one to them, $200. Well, this is going to be the last masterclass. Honestly, I really do not want to keep doing discounts and things like that, because I respect myself and I respect this strategy. Fucking, I had to get a second job to invest in my trading accounts back in the day. You got to fucking do the same. You got to earn this shit. No more discounts. Miled, right back at you, bro. Beach by G says, like the stream. G, don't fucking tell people what to do. How about that? All right? That's my job. I'm going to ask nicely. If you guys would not mind, respectfully, because I'm grateful for every single last one of you for supporting us and helping us make everything that we do possible, from the world tours to the FX summits, this stream, and to Chart Addicts as a community as a whole. I genuinely appreciate and I'm grateful for every single last one of y'all. If you guys are finding any value in this stream at all, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe. And that's how it's done, golly. What do you say about Riz's prop firm? I mean, man, fuck y'all, man. Y'all always putting me in these hard situations where I gotta fucking call people out. I'm not going to say anything specifically about any prop firms, but what I'm going to ask you guys is some Socratic questions to get you to come up with your own answers. Are you guys ready for this? Brace yourself. This might be a reality check. Do you think, right, that what's Riz's experience? Like look at the individuals who are running these prop firms and say, what were they doing before the prop firms? If they were running another company that ended up becoming a scam, newsflash, people, that internal clock is just not there. The internal morality clock is not there. I have never in my life ran a scam in my entire existence. If anything has ever happened that's negative in a business dealing that has been done, I've done my best to try and rectify it, and it's always been done. It's always been some kind of like unfortunate circumstance, but it's never been fraudulent. Fraudulent means you're doing it on purpose. It's premeditated, right? If you were involved in a business prior to this that was a fraud, chances are you're probably keeping that same energy into the prop firm space. If your last experience was an MLM company and you were an MLM sales leader, And you guys should be able to tell why this prop firm is successful. It's because this person is selling the shit out of it because he's a salesperson, he or she. Y'all, I'm looking for this potential buy opportunity here. And this is one of the ugliest patterns, especially for my masterclass folks. Like, look, I'm on the fucking 5-minute chart. Look, I'm gonna go on the 15, only just to show you how ugly some of these can get. Take a look at this. Everything is in a range, correct? So here's the high, here's the bottom. Okay. So if I drew a Fibonacci from the very bottom to the top, and some of you guys are saying, Roy, what happened to body to wick? Take a look. 5 minutes. Well, I'll be darned. I was wrong. That's the body right there. Okay, why am I pointing this out? Because we're at the 88.6 entry, stops below the low. Take profit at the previous highs, puts us at about 3.5 to 1. I'm layering in my first trade. This is a scalp, not a swing trading opportunity. This is a scalp. This is a scalp. This is a scalp. This is a scalp. Also, I'm planning on opening up an Owanda account. I'm planning on opening up an Owanda account just so I can trade. You know, I should probably do that at the same time as the prop firms, just so. Am I even on the right thing? Okay. Yeah, just so I can test the trading conditions. I want to see how bad things actually are on the regulated side. This is buy by market. I'm so confused. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to test all the trading conditions. I actually have a good friend of mine, Omar, who runs with Riz in one of his companies, and he was telling me he just started trading on Oanda. The fees are absolutely ridiculous. That's the only thing that I'm concerned with, is that my trading strategy involves being in and out. And if I'm getting I don't know, that's a bad way to say it. I was going to say ran through by fees. If I'm running through fees left and right, it's going to make it almost impossible for me to be profitable with the strategy. So, yeah, I'm going to be testing that out. I just entered on my phone because I'd have to do the whole thing and log in back in on my computer. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so side note. What did I say about Riz Profit? Like, look, if somebody came from MLM or if they came from another company that was registered as a scam at the very end, it was found out to be a scam, chances are they're probably doing it again. Whatever firms these guys are starting, you gotta just look at their track record. When it comes to financial services, you get one shot. If somebody fucks that up, if somebody in financial services does something purposefully fraudulent, there is no second chances. That's why my Forex funds or my frozen funds, everyone's asking me, do I think they're going to make a comeback? Do I think people will use them again? Are there people stupid enough to use them again? 100%. But does that mean that they've earned the trust to be able to do it again? Not even close. Okay. These guys, once you manipulate spreads, once you have an intentional framework to rob clients using these algorithms to slip trades, to create unfair trading conditions so that winners don't have the same chances that they did on demo or that they did on the challenge. As soon as you get the account and you're finally live funded, all the conditions change completely. And now they're starting to manipulate your trading conditions to make sure you lose. You get one shot at that. Real deal. Roy, in the future, are you going to make a prop firm? We thought about that for a while and decided against it. Guys, it's so much money in the prop firm space, and everyone has been trying to get us to open a prop firm with them. But I've been telling my team, it's like, I'm not going to sacrifice the future of Chart Addicts and becoming a household name and helping the millions of people that we can to chase a couple $1 million in the fucking dirt. That is not what we're going to do. Because prop firms, here's the model. Our job at Chart Addicts is to change the statistic of unprofitable traders, because let's say that 95% of traders lose. Our job is to take that 95 number and try to reduce it. Let's get to 90. Let's say 8% of traders win instead of 5. 10% of traders win. What these guys are doing is they saw the statistics and saw 95% of traders lose. And so what they're doing is they're going to take advantage of the losers. So it's like this. It's like, you know that everybody's doing meth in your neighborhood. Okay, fucked up neighborhood. And so instead of being like, this is fucked up, I'm going to start a group. I'm going to start a thing. I'm going to start a hospital. I'm going to start a clinic. I'm going to give back. I'm going to just fucking give out Narcan on the street. No, I'm going to go start selling meth. Because if they don't get it from me, they're going to get it from somewhere else. And so I'm starting to think about these platforms as, but everybody else is doing it kind of deal. I don't like the idea of taking advantage of losing traders. I feel like if I can help 10 people see success in trading, that's more worthwhile for me than helping 100,000 people lose money. Paid for the masterclass last night. I couldn't miss this information. Chris Brown, not the dancer, but the guy in the chats, probably the best decision you've ever made in your life. And I can guarantee that. Why? Because I'm teaching the masterclass, and I can ensure the quality in there is exactly up to par with the success that we've been having on here. I just locked in the masterclass. I'll see you there. Meals, I'll see you there too. Who hasn't? Look, put a 1 in the chat if you've locked in a masterclass seat, or if you've gone through the masterclass. Put a 2 if you have not yet locked in your masterclass seat. 1 if you have, 2 if you haven't. I want to see this this real quick. Hey Roy, my 88.6 on the 4 hour is lining up at 15,937. Am I using the wrong low to high? Justin, are you in the masterclass? Oh, the answer is yes. All right. So what I did is body to wick, brother. Body to wick. So if I can keep going through the time frames, maybe I drew mine a bit wrong. So on the 30-minute. Oh, I think I see what you did, bro. You drew your fib from here to here, didn't you? Ah, okay. I got you. Perfectly fair. So here's the thing. Whenever the market starts a trend, it always has the initial low. Okay, so we have this massive impulse, and then we had a retracement. On this next leg, this next bullish impulsive move, this is the beginning of the trend right here. And then there's another floor, which is the new floor. And then you have your third floor right here. So what you did was you drew your Fibonacci from the floor right here to the top. What I've kind of realized in my experience is if you have those two options, to draw it from here and to draw it from here, I always draw it from the lower of the two to let my 88.6 line up with a daily zone and to line up with the retest zone. Could I be wrong and miss the trade because I drew it incorrectly? Of course I could. But I would rather be wrong entering here, for example. I'd rather be wrong and miss the trade because I was waiting for this entry than to enter at 937 and then have this thing come all the way down for the 88.6 retest before it goes up. Because this period of drawdown, it's a bitch, dude. It's not fun. The thing lasts forever. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we got a lot of ones in the chat, but not a lot of people answered. We have over 100 people on here, but not a lot of people answered. I'm planning to get the seat by tomorrow, boss man. Lessman trades. That's what I want to see in my chats. Diego, I know you did it, bro. Diego's been locked in since. Jensen, I can't wait to see you there. Same with you, Chris and Justin. You guys have been on here basically since we started these streams. And so I'm excited to have you guys in the class and really, really seeing what the hype is about. Because it is a game changer. I think the only part that people might be disappointed with is that we're coming up on the end of the year. Because you guys are going to want to trade every fucking thing that moves. And the markets just might not be giving us the volume that we need. Okay, so here is this current trade idea, just so we're all on the same page. I'm going to move this buy opportunity to here. This is damn near a 4-to-1 trade. All right, just to show you guys where my stop loss is. I got my stop loss at 947. 947. And my buy entry is at 976. It's a bit of a premature entry. We're kind of halfway through the range. And so if we'll be honest here, not the best opportunity. But same entry price as last week, or sorry, earlier this week, right here. This double bottom. Been in this trade. It came back, it hit break even. And so I'm just basically re-entering again. Same exact trade, re-entering the same position from Wednesday. And yeah, nice little re-entry here. Okay. Let's see if we get that push up. Here's how this thing will look. 16,000 is that TP1, and then what's TP2 here? It would be 1621. A little scalp. 16,000 at first, which would put us at about 30 to 35 points profit. Then we'll go 50 points here. Total risk on this trade is about 27 points, depending on your entry. If you got a bit of a later entry, you might go as high as 45 to 40 points. So if we hit TP1, it's about a 1-to-1 R&R. If we hit TP2, it's a 2-to-1 R&R. And yeah, that's basically all I got. Masterclass is a game changer for real. I passed my Blue Guardian challenge in a day using the strategy. First off, it sounds like you over leverage, because passing a challenge in a day typically involves a certain element of over leveraging, which was not taught in the class. So let me be completely clear here. You will not learn how to over leverage in my class. However, you will learn how to pass the challenge. Now, I'm proud of you, Jeffner, but keep that fucking risk in check for your bloaty account. You heard me? Isn't it a sell day because of Friday? It could be. But for me, as I trade, John, I'm not even going to explain myself. No, I have to, because everybody else in the group, is probably thinking the same thing. The trend is your friend until it ends. I don't care how many red candles you've seen. I don't care what day of the week it is. I don't care what pattern is forming. If the market is still forming higher highs and higher lows, by definition, the trend is bullish. And by definition, you trade with the trend until it ends. No, I caught a nice move on gold and NAS. Jeffner, what percent do you need to pass the challenge? Entertain me, because you're telling me that you didn't over leverage, but that's going to be almost impossible for me to believe. So let's look under the hood real quick. What percent do you need to pass? I had to go get my coffee. Move this microphone. We good? No, I caught a nice move on gold. A trend in motion will stay in motion unless the structure is brought. Jensen hasn't even taken the master class, and he already has the first law, Roy's first law of trading thermodynamics locked in. Janae, we just talked about this. Y'all, people are paying attention. The first law of trading thermodynamics. Now, how do I know this? It's because I've traded almost every market condition. I traded when Trump was president. I traded during the Brexit situation. I traded during the China trade wars. I traded during COVID. I traded during the rebound of COVID. I traded during quantitative tightening. The whole shit from start to finish. There was aggressively bullish trends in 2021, and I would lose all the money I had made in 2-3 months trying to guess the top of the market. And instead of just trading with the trend, because this is what I told myself after all was said and done and I had blown the accounts, had I just traded in the direction of the trend from the very beginning, I would have made a record amount of money. But because I kept trying to guess the highs, every time I saw a double top, I would start to short and short and short. I was right one time, but I barely broke even on all the losing trades. Whereas right now, we have been winning for so long. We've been winning for so many weeks in a row together that if I lose this trade, it's almost going to be necessary at this point, just to remind us that losing is part of the game. It's almost going to be guaranteed in the next few trades that we have a loser, because we've been winning for so long. You can't keep winning like this. right? Now you can, but at the same time, in a trending market, you have a much better chance of trading in the direction of the trend, like we've been doing. And then if you try to keep guessing the tops, you might be right one time, but you'll be missing out on a wealth of profits until then. And that's just not the game that I'm trying to play. I'm trying to play this 88.6 scalping game. Okay, 10K account, $800 was the target. $800 was the target, so that's 8%. Am I right? That's 8%. So you made 8% in a day, Jeffner. What did you have to risk in order to make 8% in a day? Because let's talk about over leveraging. In order to make 8% in one day, what did you have to risk out of that $10,000? How could I know that a certain trade is a runner? Because I usually cut my trades short, just like GJ now. Everything is a runner. If you're trading in the direction of the trend, and I explained this in depth during the masterclass, but if you're trading in the direction of the trend, you hold the runner. Because by definition, the market is supposed to break highs if it's a bullish trend. And so why would I close the trade early when I know that it's going to keep going and break the highs? So what I try to do is I try to enter at these points right here. And then I try to hold until the next high comes in. Now I just tried to do it again, and it looks like the market is about to violate. And so I'll let this trade hit SL, and I'll re-enter down here. So if I risked $500 on the first trade, and so I'm going for, let's say, almost a 4-to-1, but after I take partials, it'll be closer to 2.5-to-1 or 3-to-1. So if 3-to-1 would put me at $1,500 profit for this trade. If I take even more partials than that, then I might end up anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200 in profit. So if I lose $500, or for some of you guys, you can say that's $50 on the first trade, but you're going to make 125 on the next one. Is it worth it? To most people, the answer would be yes. So this is how I'm looking at risk and reward. And then when it comes to the runners, like your question, Mohammed, it's basically just if you're trading in the direction of the trend, there's no reason to close the full position. Unless, obviously, the broker you're using charges a lot of swap fees, in which case, yeah, there is a good reason to close. It's called not getting rigged by swaps. Okay. While that plays out, let's talk about something that's prevalent to markets today. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. Number one, the December masterclass, December 3rd through the 6th. Make sure to grab your tickets in the link in the description below. Let's talk about what's happening in Russia and Ukraine. So Ukraine has requested more aid from the international community. America has put in almost $40 billion straight up cash sent over to Ukraine in the form of missiles, in the forms of humanitarian aid, and in the form of political aid as well. Now they're asking for more money. The rest of the world is dried up. You guys know when a homeless person asks you for money and you're doing like the tapping your hands on the pockets, you know you don't have any fucking cash. You're just looking at the patting your hands on the pockets. That's what Biden is doing to Zelensky. Zelensky walked up there and he's like, it's unfair what they're doing to us. We're going to fight until every single last Ukrainian is dead. And everyone was like, wait. Did he just say we're going to fight until every last Ukrainian is dead? What does that even mean? They're like, bro, we ain't giving you a fucking dime. The world is falling apart. Israel and Palestine is more important. Go over there. Zelensky's not happy about this because they're still in a war for their survival. I think the only way this ends is through a peace treaty and through some concessions. This was a fucked up situation. Look at how many fucking people had to die. And at the very end, Russia is still going to take the Russian-speaking areas in the Ukraine. Let me reiterate that. The Russian-speaking areas of the Ukraine. Tens of thousands of people have died in that battle just for that to be the outcome. Foreign policy has become a massive joke, if I'll be honest. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. 20 years of fighting, $1 trillion spent, all for the Taliban to take back over the country, just handed it back over to them, with over $1 billion of US military gear. This is it's a fucking joke. But I think that we have gotten to the point where Ukraine is on their own. We're still going to provide political cover because Russia taking over Ukraine completely would be a threat to NATO and would be an encroachment onto the NATO lines. But NATO threatening to put Ukraine into NATO was also a massive threat to the Russians, and this is why this whole situation started. So now let's go over to the rest of the world, which is Palestine, Israel, which seems to be the number one dominant topic when it comes to political not even political, but let's just talk about this from an economic perspective because everybody else is talking about the rest on the news. With Israel Palestine, the number one priority for all these conflicts, especially as it relates to US markets, is for the conflicts to be contained within a specific location. If Russia and Ukraine has spilled over into any of the NATO countries, then this would have invited the rest of the world to join in, which is World War III. The number one priority for global foreign policy leaders is to avoid World War III right now because we have never been closer. So yeah, you're going to have to give up some land, you're going to have to make some concessions, and you're going to have to make some sacrifices and trade-offs, but the benefit is no World War IIIs. And so as long as Russia, Ukraine, and Palestine, Israel stay contained in those borders, we will not have a global shock for markets or the economies. Supply chains are not going to get too disrupted because, let's be real, not a lot of the world's goods was moving through Israel in the first place, right? Now, oil is the biggest question on the table today. America is trying to squeeze Saudi Arabia. Okay, right now, inflation is very high in America, and energy and food and housing are the three biggest costs as part of a consumer budget. So if we want to bring down inflation and we want to artificially fix the numbers before an inflation print, what the government can do is release oil from the strategic petroleum reserves, dump it onto the market. Now, when you increase supply, prices come down. So we can bring down the price of gas just by dumping the strategic petroleum reserves into the market. Fair enough? Now, you're supposed to do that in terms of emergencies. When Trump was president, he filled up the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, to the brim by buying cheap oil from Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, and Russia, and then building our stockpile. Then what we ended up doing is drilling more and selling and exporting our oil to the rest of the world. That is how you're supposed to do business. Now, Joe Biden has depleted almost 50% of the SPR. Who does that hurt? It hurts our biggest enemies, which is Iran, Russia, and a little bit of China and Saudi Arabia. These countries, the oil producing countries, rely on oil prices being expensive. If your whole economy relies on how much you're pumping out the ground, and the only difference in how rich you are is whether people are buying it for 80 a barrel or 100 a barrel, the more expensive the price of oil is, the richer you are. This is why I've been saying all year that the West is funding Putin's continuation in this war. Because as the price of oil goes up because of the supply chain disruptions from east to west, and as the supply chains get shot because of the, what we did to Russia with blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, this is going to make, first off, it's going to make the price of gas go up. And then the only people who benefit from that are the oil producing nations. So we have Saudi Arabia that is now that is getting hurt because of Biden's policies. They don't like Biden. What they want to do is have Biden stop dumping into the market so everybody can catch their breath. We cannot allow Saudi Arabia to do that because we can't allow the price of oil to skyrocket again. Look at this. Look at US oil real quick. Everything in the world, by the way, all wars are fought over oil, in case you guys have a third grade education, right? Everything. I pointed this out at the beginning of the year. I had this buy basically from 69 up to 93. And I really wish I traded oil because this would have been the absolute best trade of the year by far. Very accurate, very straightforward. But you guys can see from the $93 a barrel all the way down to 76, it doesn't seem like a big change when you look at it from a numerical value. 96 to 73, Roy, is that really going to change the whole world? Yes. Look, you're down 25%. Imagine your monthly income just dropped by 25% today, just today. Completely wiped out. 25% of your monthly income just completely out the window. You'd be hurting. And if you're not hurting, it would change the way that you make decisions at least. And so that's what's happening to Saudi, to Iran, and to Russia right now, is because of the low price per barrel. Iran doesn't have the power to go create nukes. Russia doesn't have the power to keep funding and taking over Ukraine effortlessly, especially if Ukraine is getting money from the other side. And Iran cannot continue to fund their proxies without any fear of backlash because the price of oil does not support their terrorist activities. Do y'all understand? He said, in the masterclass, we're going to learn how to navigate through consolidating markets. If only this guy knew. Consolidating markets are my specialty, my friend. That's all I look for because secretly, everything is consolidating. Everything is a box. D-boy, everything. Okay, So that's a quick rundown of what's happening around the world. We have the oil producing nations with all the power and leverage today. We have the oil consuming nations paying for these guys' wars. So everybody's funding Iran's war, everyone's funding Russia's war, everyone's funding the global geopolitical conflicts. We have Russia and Ukraine that's going to come to a resolution where more than likely the Donbass regions will be conceded over to the Russians. They're Russian speaking. The Donbass have very clearly stated that they want to be Russian. And I think this is going to end with those concessions. Now, Trump or with Palestine, Israel, this is the single hardest geopolitical question of today or of the past fucking decades. And I really wish I had an answer. I got an answer for almost everything. This one, I just literally, I roll through every single day and I just try to play through every scenario. And it's a fucking tough one, people. I know it doesn't seem like it because a lot of you guys are thinking to yourself, like, bro, just give them, we have a two-state solution. The international community does this. We have to make a couple concessions in terms of land ownership, and then we can just all live happily ever after. It's not that simple. It seems like it's that simple. If someone came and murdered your cousins, your family, your father, your brothers, and you're the only one left, you're 12 years old. By the time you hit 16, 17, you are going to become a terrorist or quote unquote terrorist, whatever the term that you want to use is. If somebody kills everybody that you love and you grew up in an open air prison, family, it's going to be very, very tough to just have that forgiveness necessary to live within a two-state solution. And so this is going to be one of the hardest questions. And I think the only way to really get through this problem is for Israel to choose 3 delegates from the global stage, Palestine to choose 3 delegates from the global stage. I'm assuming Palestine would choose Saudi Arabia. Look, if they're smart, they'd go Saudi, UAE. Fuck, you can't even do Iran because they're going to fuck up the whole deal. They're going to be like, no, we're not going to give any concessions. We're not going to concede we're not going to concede an inch. But you need negotiators on both sides that are willing to have that sort of back and forth.
They can't do UAE either because UAE has even been funneling weapons to Israel.
Well, I mean, you can see that the Saudi and UAE are both trying to deal with the prosperity of the region by trying to create a peace deal with Israel. And so they're really just trying to, they're playing both sides for sure. But you can't have Iran and Qatar at the table because they're not going to concede at all, not an inch. And so that's just going to fuck up the whole. You can't go and negotiate with people who are from the very start going to have non-negotiables that ruin the deal. It's like the deals they tried to do with Arafat. The guy had 99% of what the Palestinians needed, but because he didn't have that 1%, fucked up the whole deal, threw it away. And so I feel like that's what's going to happen here. That's why you need reasonable powers on both sides. And that's why it's like, no, well, we don't want them. If this is the attitude, which is, no, we're not going to give up an inch. We're not going to do this and that. At that point, bro, it's like, what the fuck do you want us to do? It's a mess. I don't think this mess would have happened under Trump's watch. Not even close, right? And I used to think that was a controversial statement, which is because I was saying that from the very beginning. This would have never happened with Trump as president. However, now I know for an absolute fact that none of this would have happened with Trump as president. Because every leader in the world has articulated that during that era, nobody would have fucking dared. Why? Look, America's foreign policy runs on a policy framework called, what is it? It's foreign policy ambiguity, which is we're not really going to tell you what we're going to do if you take over Taiwan. We're not going to tell you exactly what we're going to do if you take over Ukraine. But just know it's going to be bad. Policy ambiguity is not the way to go today. We need clarity. You got to tell them, you step over this line and you're going to fucking lose that foot. You step over this line, I'm taking that foot. You are not coming over here. And we have to be that clear with both parties. America has not told Iran to mind its fucking business. They kind of did. But they were like, well, we don't believe this is going to spill over into a greater regional conflict. Dude, Trump would have told them, you step one fucking foot, you send one dime to Hamas. And I'm going to find out who pressed the button to send the money. And we're taking the hand, taking the whole hand. You got to be crystal clear about the consequences that will happen as a result of these heinous actions. But We're going with ambiguity for some fucking reason. Let's just put a massive warship. Let's put 2 warships on the coast without any clarity about the next steps. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They built these tunnels and all this shit. They don't even know what to do next. They had their attack. They got the hostages. They're like, yo, this shit was supposed to work. What's happening? They've killed 20,000 children around us, and we fucked up. That's probably what's going through Hamas's head. It's like, yo, we're fucking retarded. We built all this shit. We did all this shit, and now, nobody's dying except for the kids. Right? They built these fucking tunnels. Now they're getting pumped with sewage water, and they're drowning. They're drowning the Hamas people. And who the fuck is planning this stuff, man? So the only person that can really step in is the United States. That, I feel like, from a geopolitical perspective, keep in mind, I'm not trying to pick sides here. I have no skin in the game. I'm not involved in either of these groups. I'm looking at this from a third-party observer, from a geopolitical perspective, and also a financial and economic perspective. And the number one thing that the whole world needs, number one, is to avoid World War II or World War III, and to avoid a global financial crisis that's charged by these wars or by the supply chain shocks. Once we do that, then we can talk about fucking land disputes. I swear we can talk about the land disputes. But these 2 countries somewhere, God knows where, that most people can't find in a map, about to send the rest of the world spiraling into World War III over land disputes, get the fuck out of here. The priority is to stop World War III, hands down. Roy, do you risk less on scalps and more on higher time frame plays? Brian, 100% the answer is yes. So I did not risk the same amount on this trade that I would on the 88.6 trade down here. Why? Because this was based off of a 30-minute range, which is this range here. This trade down here is based on a 4-hour range, which is the highs to the lows, higher time frame. And so I will always risk more on the higher time frame trades than I do on the scalp opportunities, just like the one for today. Clear? Makes sense? The market closes at 12 p.m. EST. Is there an early closure, Black Friday, bank? I have no idea why I just typed in all these words. I could have just did that in half the words. It's possible your bank may decide to close early. Nope, it doesn't look like it's a federal banking holiday. Let's do federal bank holiday calendar 2023. The Federal Reserve website. Oh, we're with the boys now. November 24th. So we have Thanksgiving Day. We got Thanksgiving Day, and that's it. Yeah, it doesn't look like Black Friday is an early closure. John Panis, another cap from John. More cap. Our number one source of fake news. I don't think this mess would have. I guess I will find out on the masterclass. See you. Is the masterclass where we learn how to navigate through consolidating markets? D-boy, the answer is yes, in case you couldn't tell. The answer is 100% yes. You will learn how to navigate through consolidating markets because every market is consolidating. This kind of looks like a trending market, right? So what most people would tell me is that, Roy, this is actually a trending market. Pin this. Let me move this shit. Move this. Okay. You could say, well, Roy, here's a low, here's a higher low, here's a potential higher low, here's a high, here's another high, here's a higher high. It's a trending market, Roy. Well, I would disagree with you because any area where when the market gets up to that zone, consistently sells is a high of a range. Meaning, it seems like every time the market gets up to this black line, we sell off. We tried to break all the way through, but couldn't. We rejected. We came back to retest that zone, and now we're falling off. There's very clearly selling interest at that level. There's very clearly a ceiling there. Now let's look at the very bottom. There's a floor here, there's a floor here, there's a floor here, there's a floor here, there's kind of a floor here. Well, very clearly, there's a floor at a support all the way down here. This is a range. This puts us as the high of the range, the low of the range. For my masterclass folks, here's the discount, and here's the premium. You guys see how that works? So now we have support, resistance, discount, premium, and we're ready to find the best trade opportunity of all time. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Beautiful. Clean that up. body to wick, higher time frame 886, all the way down here at 15,800. That's crazy. Closer to 782 back at this daily support. So here's the options. Here's the most recent low. This could be a break, retest 88.6, and a buy. So I'll be taking a buy right here as well. Or the market could be doing the higher time frame zone, which is this is low to all the way to the high, 88.6, before it continues. Either one might be valid. I don't know which one it's going to respect, guys, by the way. You'll never know. If we did, we'd all be trillionaires. And so I'm going to be taking a trade at both of those levels. And I'll be putting in a break even to see which one holds. Price is getting pretty close to my stop loss. I'm going to give it a chance to see if it rejects back up. More than likely it will not, which is, it's okay. So I have the 15,900, and then of course I have the 15,780 all the way down here. So 3 different buy zones. Very, very possible that we make money on both. I'm very hopeful that we make money at 15,900 and that it's going to go up a little bit. We'll make profits, and then it'll come and break through. And that's where we'll be able to take a second trade from 780, or a third trade at this point. You can close the trade and enjoy the weekend. Yeah, I could, but it hasn't hit stop loss. Is that simple? Okay, so what we talked about Russia, Ukraine, we talked about Israel, Palestine, geopolitical conflicts, not too crazy right now. Things are contained. Federal Reserve, we have a meeting in about 2 weeks. So Jerome Powell will come out and talk to us about what he believes 2024 is going to look like, which is obviously very crucial because his policy determines how the whole world responds. And so those are the big economic events. And then there's one more. Oh, let's talk about the prop firms and brokerage space. Okay, I'm sure you all have heard at this point about the beef that's happening between the regulated and unregulated brokers. Tell me, from your perspective as a consumer, what have you guys been seeing? What sides are you taking? Who seems like they have a better argument? Is it the regulated people? Is the people shitting? Basically, guys, I'm talking about sway markets versus the top tier crew, and they're just constantly back and forth. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. I want to see your perspective as a user of these platforms and as an outside observer. Who do you guys think has a point? Who do you guys think sounds the most correct? Who's got something that's credible? Let me know, and I'll tell you guys exactly what's happening in the back end and how dangerous this whole thing is to the brokerage space as a whole. Brian said, hey, Roy, that's my previous question. How big is the difference in risk between your swing trades and scalps, 2x or 3x? It's never more than 3x, ever. So the lowest I would ever throw is going to be a 0.25% risk. So if it's a 200K account, it'll be $500. I have risked like 350 to 500 before, which is less than a 0.25%. And so I'd say for a scalp, I'd be risking 0.2 to a 0.25% risk. Okay, so 20 basis points to 25 basis points of risk. For a swing trade, it'd be 0.5%, and the highest I would ever go is 1%, but I try not to do that anymore. 0.5% to 0.75% on the swing trades. Now, all of my trades start off as a scalp or an intraday, and then the runner becomes the swing trade. The only time I really swing trade is if, let's say I entered here, and it took 2-3 days for the market to finish whipsawing, and then it eventually flew. I would have to be in that entry for 2 or 3 days. But what I would do in the meantime is I would scalp at the zone every time it hit the buy entry. Scalp, close the partials, let it come back. Scalp, close partials, let it come back, because I want to make money regularly. I want to make cash below. None of them. They want to make a point and use this beef to make some money. Good point, Sky Blue. As long as a broker pays out and has good spreads as a retail trader, shouldn't matter too much if it's regulated or not. Brian, how could you even say that? How could you even put that out there as a man and not be embarrassed at what you just typed? Like, Brian, do you not feel embarrassed by what you just typed? Do you think what you just typed was correct? Or is it just something that you just regurgitated from someone else? Does anybody here agree with Brian? Put a 1 if you do, put a 2 if you don't. He's saying as long as they pay out and as long as they have good spreads, it doesn't matter if they're regulated, right? Guys, come on. We got to be better than that. Of course it matters. Here's why. If there's absolutely no if there's no regulation at all, what's stopping me from robbing you every chance I get, from manipulating spreads, from manipulating trading conditions, from booking every single person, never taking a single trade ever, deleting certain losses on PAM accounts, messing with certain trading conditions around news? Like, they can literally do whatever they want. They can sell to whoever they want. And if they close down and take your money, there is nothing that you can do. You guys got me? Now, with a regulated entity, at least there's an audit. If they're serving clients that are not from that country, they'll know. If they have trading conditions that are very sketchy and they're not making sense, they're gonna know. They're gonna audit everything that they do to make sure that people's trades are being taken. The B-book monopolies are not just robbing people's money and just taking it for themselves. Regulation does matter. I was a regulated U.S. licensed broker. I understand how much work it takes to get a U.S. license for your brokerage. This shit is legit. These guys are breaking every law in the book every single day. So to say that it doesn't matter is kind of ignorant. That's something I would expect an affiliate to say. Be like, bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just keep loading up my affiliate bag. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Unregulated brokers took a long time to send my own profits, and I could barely talk to customer service. A regulated broker should be the way. Trading is already challenging. Why go stress? Again, an uninformed, because just because one of them is regulated does not mean they have better customer service. Some of the best and most regulated platforms have the absolute shittiest service because it costs them more money to have good customer service than some of these other guys. But it doesn't matter. I want to be able to sue somebody if they fucking run off with my money. I want to be able to drag somebody into the deep end with me if they decide to rob me. If someone is registered out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and they take all of our money and they leave, there is not shit you can do. Now, for me, I'm crazy. I might hop on a plane and go find them. But what is the rest of y'all going to do? You got $50,000, $20,000, $7,000 in this account. They literally take it. It's not liquidity providers. It's not a market event. They literally close down shops and take your fucking money. What are you doing about it? The answer is fucking nothing, because they're in Malta or some dumb shit. You guys understand me? That's the difference. Do you think some of the regulated brokers are going to introduce prop firms? No, because it's too gray area, bro. Being a real prop firm puts you in the same realm as a hedge fund. You're allowing other people to trade live money that is invested from other places. Now, the only way the prop firm models are legal right now is they're straight telling people it's all simulated. And as long as it's all simulated, nobody can get in trouble because it's not a financial services company. They will never send a trade into the market. And so they can't be, this is what I told the prop firm owners the other day. I said that America legalized gambling. I said the worst case scenario is just register your companies as fucking gambling companies and they'll leave you alone. Isn't that fucking sad? But it's true. So there are opportunities for the prop firms to survive. The regulated brokers want nothing to do with it because it's the hardest industry to stay in, is the regulated broker space, because you're a middleman making money. You're the house in the poker game, constantly making money off the chips. However, at any given moment, they audit you and you go out of business. So Swaymark, all these guys, like at any given moment, if they go under, your money is gone. What's your reasoning for why NAS and S&P are falling while US 30 is climbing? Well, Jaden, it's because they're different fucking instruments. Why would they be moving in the same direction if the 100 stocks that are in NASDAQ are not the same as the 30 stocks or 500 stocks that are in the S&P 500? Like if the S&P 500 has a bunch of stocks that are different than the ones in NASDAQ, and those stocks go down, and the stocks in the NASDAQ go up, why would they move at the same time? Bullseye is going in on Q and Anthony. Is there truth behind his claims? Bro, that dude is probably a scammer too. Now, are there any truth behind his claims? Yeah, probably. But you have to look at the messenger. It fucking sucks to say this, but the messenger does matter. This is why I can't take shit Andrew Tate says seriously. People be like, bro, but doesn't he make a point? Yes, dude. Like, obviously, like, some of this shit is true, but that doesn't mean that we got to take advice from people who don't have the credibility for it. Imagine we take moral advice from somebody who's fucking jacking dudes off under a keyboard and pimping out women. That shit is fucking retarded to me. How would I, why would the fuck would I ever take advice about women or about being a man or about morality or what men should or shouldn't do from someone who's literally at the bottom of the barrel of what men are? That's crazy. And so same with this guy Bullseye. I don't know a single thing about him, straight up. But I knew everything I needed to know when I saw the video, and I was like, yo, this guy's got great points. Let me go check out who the fuck this guy is, because obviously these people pull out of the woodwork every day. They come and crawling out of the fucking walls and shit every day, a new FX, whatever, right? I click on the link in his bio. It's a Sway Markets link. Now, you guys tell me, with all the genius that's in this fucking group chat, what would be somebody's motivation for going at their competitors wholeheartedly, 100% saying all the shit, and then promoting a broker to US clients that's not supposed to be taking US clients? The whole point of him shitting on the competition is for what? And then pushing a Sway Markets link. Now, I'm gonna let you guys know, I don't have these broker links in my description. I'm literally talking shit, and everybody is fair game. I'm a user of these platforms, and I'm a steward for all of you guys, because I have to be on the front lines testing these platforms. So I'm gonna let you know, I'm not here shitting on these people so you can sign up for the broker I'm trying to push. There is no broker. There's the NAS100 masterclass link. You can get personal coaching from me, and you guys can sign up for TradingView Premium. Those are the only partnerships that we'll have. And these are the only things that I'm really like. There has to be a conflict of interest barrier between the people providing this information and the shit that they're doing in the back end. Everybody wants to come out here and be some kind of expert. Let me see this guy's Series 66 license. Let me see this guy's Series 7 license. Right? Bullseye is admitting to faking trades with both Hugo's Way and Nations. Okay, you feel what I'm saying? How would Sway go under if it's regulated? Brian, how the fuck is Sway regulated, bro? You said two dumb things in a row, and I'm trying to figure out where your head is at. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but for real, it's like, do you even know what you're talking about? How would Sway go under if it's regulated? How the fuck is Sway regulated? I thought everybody's on the same page now, finally. I thought we fucking went through this. It seems like everybody's still, 7 months behind. They're like, well, Sway's not regulated? Yo, people. Son, what are we doing here? No, they're not fucking regulated. How are you going to use somebody else's license number? Somebody who's actually A6 regulated. They might be regulated they were regulated on the institutional side for PAM accounts through somebody else's license, but they are not licensed for retail traders at all in any way, shape, or form. They're not regulated. And then you most certainly not regulated in the United States. 100, and that's where a lot of their clients are. You have fucking people like Ryan Gilpin pushing people to a broker that you can't even accept clients from in the United States. How fucking retarded can you be, bro? These people are begging to go to jail at some point because being an IB for an unregistered broker in the United States and accepting US clients and then promoting guaranteed results and affiliate programs off of an unregulated broker and pushing that as regulated to US clients is against the fucking law. Yo, this is like the Short Bus Chronicles. Which broker should I put my money in? I don't fucking know you should or shouldn't do, bro. Be a grown man and do some research. Should or shouldn't do this. I'm not here to provide financial advice. I'm here to get you to understand that if you want to be a trader, you're going to have to use your fucking brain, because the markets, the skill set involved is rational decision making and thinking for yourself. You got to look at the markets and say, what are they trying to do? Oh, they're trying to get me to do this thing. I'm going to have to do the opposite. And if you don't have that sort of mindset built where you're trying to figure out what is my opposition trying to do to me, and how can I stop them and block them from doing that by making a smart decision, then you're not going to be successful at trading. What are these brokerages trying to do to me right now? And then use that information to figure out what you should be doing. All right? Sway isn't regulated in the US, neither is KOT, Forex, fake licenses. See, I don't know why you're comparing Sway and KOT. They're all the fucking same. But just by him saying that, it shows that you're taking those two sides. It's Sway versus KOT. People, we've been getting robbed by Hugo's for fucking years. All right. I done brought 100,000 people over to Hugo's. They never sent me a fucking check. I understand it. All these companies are, there's a monopoly going on in the back end for all these companies to work together to rob retail. And at this point, there's an apocalypse happening. Everybody's going under. Everyone's getting kicked off of MetaQuotes because MetaQuotes is finally realizing that they are going to go under if they keep allowing this filth to happen. There needs to be a restructuring in the industry. All these scam brokerages are currently in the process of restructuring, rebranding to come back out under a new name. Fam, nobody's going to fall for this shit anymore. That's it. I think that everybody needs to wake up and realize that it's time for us to build this industry in the most legitimate way possible. That's why I'm hosting the FX Summit. I'm trying to bring together the most legit names. And these people keep providing fake. I don't want to say fake. People can fake verified track records of trading, verified track records of people getting paid out. They can hide a lot of the negative press long enough for no one to know what's going on. But with enough research that I'm seeing, they said the Short Buzz Chronicles. Yeah, bro, look around. It's Forex. 95% of traders lose. The only explanation is Short Buzz Chronicles. It's like, oh, this guy said he's regulated, right? The guy that's been pushing scam brokers for the last 5 years, he's pushing a broker now. So obviously I should fucking click on it. Yo, people are so fucking stupid. Now I figured out what it is these people are pushing the commissions and the affiliate links. And they'll tell you like, look, bro, it doesn't matter if it's a scam. You can make so much money. Bro, you're broke. You can't be sitting here thinking about scams and not scams, right? If someone's hungry trying to feed their family, he can rob the store. It's perfectly okay. That's the story I'm hearing in the back end. Because people are broke, they should go and affiliate for these platforms that are just absolute trash and scams. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, okay? You will be offered these things if you become a successful trader. Keep your morality at the highest fucking priority. You only get one name, people. You only get one. These guys, once this prop firm game is over, once the white label game is over, once the white label brokerages all go out of business and they're all begging on the streets, they're back fucking, they got to sell the supercars and go back on the streets. Their last name and their name will stick with them forever. People will be in these group chats on Telegram and Discord and Reddit talking about all the group chats that they were scammed with these people. Lawsuits will ensue. Keep your fucking name clean, y'all. Do good business. If you know that something is a scam, I don't give a fuck how broke you are. I don't give a fuck if you can't eat. Suck it up and go get a second, third, fourth, fifth job. Do not push scam platforms because it will come back to bite you in the ass. Everybody here who's been scammed before from a course or a brokerage or a prop firm that did not pay out, that taste in your mouth, that feeling that's in the pit of your stomach, that's not going away. I feel the exact same about the platforms that robbed me today that I did back then. Nothing has changed. And all the people that have the badge on Twitter affiliating, by the way, price is about to hit my stop loss. I'm actually going to check because I'm pretty sure it hit my stop loss on my broker. There's no way. Yeah, it hit. Okay. Well, 15,900 is that next area of interest. 15,900 is the next area of interest. $15,900, next area to keep an eye out on. Some of those owners of these companies are very well known on Instagram. They just act like affiliates. Yep, 100%. A lot of these guys own the platform and they just be like, here's the broker I use, broker I use, broker I use. If someone has to tell you what fucking broker they use 1,000 fucking times, there's something shady going on. Bro, it's true. They're giving out big discounts to entice more traders. Yeah, I mean, guys, look, it's getting desperate out here. I need you guys to understand the way that this game has been set up for years. And it's a shame that we don't have more people on here. Everybody drop a like real quick and I'll tell you exactly how we got to here. I'll tell you how the brokerage game worked up until the last year. Because this is a big deal. We all came from IML. Everybody had at least 1 month in IML at some point, right? Everyone had a week in IML. Everybody saw a video or two. I want to show you guys how they used that IML umbrella to start pushing these kind of Ponzi brokers kind of the Ponzi broker model. But make sure you guys drop a like. Once we get to 100 likes, then I'll break down exactly how we got to this massive scam ass industry today and how we can fix it from here on out by everybody having more deliberate standards about their what they expect from these people. Drop a like, just drop a like real quick, and I'll tell you guys exactly how we got to here. I'm about to piss off a lot of people. I'm about to get myself in a lot of trouble, and I don't give a fuck. Only because, number one, no one's gonna do shit. Number two, this is very important. So you hit SL today. I just joined. Yep, first stop loss trade in a long time, people, in a long time. All right, in a long time. It was such a small loss. I don't give a fuck. I'm up many thousands this week. I'm up many thousands, my friend. I lost like $350 on that trade. Spill it, talking facts, whatever. We got 68 likes, almost there. What's funny? 68 likes. Come on. 32 more likes. Somebody just unliked the video. What the fuck is wrong with you? Drop a like, and I'll break down. I'll literally expose the industry straight up from top to bottom. Somebody unliked the video. That shit had me so sick. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, man. Oh, man. 69 likes. I feel bad for the people that actually enjoy trading and not using it as a platform. I feel bad for the people that actually enjoy trading and not using it as a platform to market. I don't feel bad for us, okay? Because look, from a business perspective, I would have to watch every single thing I say. Because people will be like, well, Chart Addicts is not professional, non-professional. At the end of the day, if we lose business because people don't like me cursing, the markets pay my bills. So if you are a trader, you have the fuck you money. You don't need to be a millionaire, but you can have the fuck you money. When you're beholden to, if you say one wrong thing about the brokerage space and you own a broker, your broker loses money and you're screwed. You can't say anything truthful because your business depends on it. That's why I tell everybody, like, the allure to want to start a trading business is there, because you see everybody like, oh, Lamborghinis, this and that. You will never make more money than if you just focus on trading. Okay? I promise you. I promise y'all. Focus on the trading and fuck the business, because the business will only distract you from the trading. The unlike was from an affiliate. That's funny as shit. Would I go on Fresh and Fit? At first, Jay, the answer is yes, because I talked to Fresh and we talked about it for a little bit. I showed him some of the numbers I was doing in trading. I showed him my crypto portfolio. I was like, yo, there's a lot I could talk about, more than just throwing an event and being young, handsome, successful, and really showing men how to live a good life. Because they really have people who are an embarrassment to men on these shows. But also, man, these women who have no father figure in their life, who are just really down bad, drug addicted and shit. I ain't trying to go out here fucking disrespecting drug addicted women with no fathers, bro. That is like, I'm trying to respect people, man. I'm trying to help these women out. I'm trying to give them the best advice possible on how they can better their life. But I ain't trying to be in here fucking taking advantage of that for the clout, bro. That whole model is about to die out, right? The whole reason why OnlyFans and all this shit took off is because these fucking shows. These shows keep giving these women a platform. I'm not even going to call them women because it's disrespectful to women. You feel me? They give hoes platforms, and they're like, well, why do we have a hypersexualized culture? Why are so many women, enamored by OnlyFans and wanting to do OnlyFans? It's because these fucking platforms keep putting them on. Like, these women used to be irrelevant in society. They used to be out there in the shadows, in the corners, creatures in the corners, right? And now they're on the front page. Oh my God. So if they fixed that shit and became a legitimate podcast and had some self-respect, yeah, I would go on their show. But if they don't, if they really just want to go out here and promote these OnlyFans women, which they're friends with, by the way, as much shit as they talk on the show, they out here trying to fucking talk to them after the show and doing all the same dirty shit these guys are calling other people out for. Weak men. Literally weak men with no fucking standards, with nothing going on. Rich as fuck, spending money on supercars, not opening schools, not doing anything productive. Bro, none of this shit is my culture. This is not for me. I'm opening schools in this motherfucker. I'm trying to help people change their entire lives. Right? $100,000 down payment and $58,000 a year for a car. Are y'all fucking crazy? There's people dying every fucking day. Why the hell would I spend my money like that? My family is Lebanese, bro. The youth unemployment rate is 40% in Lebanon. Why the fuck would I buy a Lamborghini before opening a business that can give them opportunity to bring in outside money into the country? How the fuck does that make any sense? And so, yeah, bro, these guys want to give advice to men on how to be men, but literally don't know the first fucking thing about being a man. Yeah. So you know what? Let me answer the question. No, I'm not going on that stupid show. I might just do a reaction video and just cook their whole life. And I fuck with Fresh and Myron, but I fuck with Myron more. Real deal. Fresh came to our fucking conference and made a fool out of himself on stage. Do y'all remember that? He said, "Don't be gay." That was the last thing he said when he picked up the phone. But we have billionaire hedge fund managers in the fucking crowd. It's an embarrassment. These people. Next year is going to be different. I'm going to tell y'all. Too much attention to these OnlyFans hoes. Yes, Frankie. Bro, where's the women that are literally grinding their ass off? Where's the woman who's got scrubs on right now, working at a hospital, wheeling some dude into a room? He's disrespectful as fuck, but she got to do it because she's a nurse, right? This is the fucking, these are the people we got to be putting on. Somebody jumped into a fire last week to save a kid from a house. Put them on the real fucking front page. All right? There's a woman that's got 3 jobs or 2 jobs right now that's trying to take care of her family. Her husband left her. He's a piece of shit. And she out here trying to take care of her kids, 2 jobs. Put her on the front page. These girls and these OnlyFans bitches got 2 brain cells left trying to squeeze them together. But I think that, and this is what they're feeding to the children. And they're trying to talk about some red pill this, red pill content, this and that. Like, oh, you guys got to stop watching Logan Paul. Watch me sit here and converse with fucking retarded OnlyFans whores. Yo, son, that whole space needs to go. That whole space on YouTube and streaming and all that shit needs to fucking go. We're done. Today's the day it's done. Y'all see that shit come up on your feed. Do not click on it. Stop supporting that nonsense. Real deal. Now, we didn't get 100 likes, so I'm not going to expose the industry today. I might have just saved myself. These people would want to assassinate me by the time I finish the stream. So it's all good. So I appreciate all of you guys showing up. Obviously, stop loss hit. This thing could recover back up, and I could have just been very impatient because it's just one of those days. It's a Friday or whatever. And now the more I look at it, the more I'm starting to realize I might have just been impatient. I might have just had my stop loss too tight. This thing could recover back up. If you're still holding the buys, just hold it, let it play out. Okay? It is what it is. I said, I'm so glad I joined today. Right back at you, Kurt. In case you guys weren't here at the beginning, this is your final reminder. 9 days left until the NAS100 masterclass. This is the last masterclass of the entire year. Make sure to secure your seat before they're gone. It's a 3-day masterclass with a 4th day of Q&A. You guys can go and see real traders, real results, to see people's testimonials right here. First day, fundamental analysis. What are the biggest drivers of NAS100? Technical analysis, my strategy from start to finish, psychology and risk strategies, and then review and Q&A. Make sure that you guys register. I want to see all of you there so you can learn this strategy for yourself. Happy and safe trading. Chart Addicts, click the link in the description, and peace. Okay, don't let them hold you down, bro. Nobody can hold me down, Jug Simba. Nobody can fucking touch me, buddy. I'm the fucking immovable object and the unstoppable force, my boy. I'll drag anybody to the deep end with me. It'd be a fucked up day for anybody in this industry that wants to go toe to toe, right? And so they're gonna let me be here. They're gonna let me say what I want. And then when it comes time for us to host the biggest Forex conference of the year again, everybody will put their pride aside because they're scammers and they're going to want to be around these legitimate names like TradingView and Oanda and Binance and some of the big companies. Binance in a little bit of trouble, but they'll recover. Slight hiccup. Said, please, what are you seeing on gold? I'm seeing take the day off. Darlington, Eric. Roy, I was in the masterclass. Just want to check on something on the chart. It looks like the 886 was hit on the 4-hour. Let me see this. Oh, shit. Wow. Wow. Good call. Autobahn, somebody else said 837 earlier, didn't they? Here's the reason I changed it is because I went down to the 1 hour and I realized that we were cutting into the body of all these candles. There's two ways to draw this. It would be this double bottom is your low, in which case we have a little bit more room to go. But for me, I drew it from this low down here. And that's how I found that 900 number. It's 15,900 was right there from the 1 hour lows. But from the 4 hour, the lows are all the way up here at 913. That's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. It's a little tough now, ain't it? Shit. I'd say a little bit more room. Ted said, hey, we staying live. Yeah, I mean, I don't have, I was just looking at the likes. It didn't really seem like a lot of people were liking the video. So I just basically said, all right, we have achieved 100 marks. Yeah, we did, but it took too long. I was supposed to already end the stream now. So no exposing the Forex industry. I'll expose how brokerages and all this stuff work on the masterclass. But just so everybody's informed from now on, I am a US, or I was a US licensed broker, because if you leave a firm for more than 3 years and you have not re-registered or done your continuing education, you still have the license, but it's no longer active. So I can't use my brokerage license, but I can at least tell you guys how the industry works and how these companies got to where we are today, as well as, more than likely, if you understand how we got here, you'll understand where everyone's trying to go. The Pip Syndicate said, I just found your channel. Thanks for your help. Of course, Pip Syndicate. I'd love to see you in the masterclass as well. Make sure you give that a look on the website and just look at the stories and various people's testimonials from the experience just to see if it's something that could benefit you. I think for most people, the only thing holding you back is number one is having a clear strategy that's copy and paste that you can go step by step. That's number one. Number two is the clarity of having a plan, putting it all together in a cohesive way. Most people have the best knowledge. I was talking to a few of my coaching students, and most of them are on the Zoom call today. But when I talked to them, most of them came in with a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills when it comes to technical analysis and trading. But having a coherent structure of putting it all together, not just the technical strategy, but the risk management as well, the decision-making, the maximum daily losses, the objectives and goals when you're supposed to walk away, having that holistic approach, I think changed everybody's game. And so for most of you, the education is the first piece. Once you find a strategy, that's where you're going to be seeing the results immediately. For the rest of you, you might need some coaching just so we can figure out exactly what's holding you back. And so we can work on that specifically based on your needs. And that's kind of like the next step if the education alone is not the deciding factor here. Hope that makes sense. The deadline for coaching is December 3rd. Masterclass is also December 3rd. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Chart Addicts merch. We also have merch on the website. This is a little secret for you guys because we never really released this, but if you buy any of the t-shirts on the website, you get 50% off your FX Summit ticket. You have 50% off your FX Summit ticket because after we launch the dates, the early bird discounts are gone. And so if you still want to have 50%, grab one of these t-shirts and you'll have 50% off. Just send us a picture of you wearing it. You'll get that discount code. You got me? Markets are very slow. I am about to head off. We talked about Russia, Ukraine. We talked about Israel, Palestine. We talked about the brokerage space, regulated versus unregulated. Let me go give you a shameless plug, which is I just dropped a podcast or an interview with Pierce Crosby, who is the general manager of TradingView. You guys know TradingView? Little company out of nowhere. Barely anybody uses it, right? Right here. This is where Pierce Crosby came and spoke at our conference this year, the #1 Forex trading conference in the world. This has less than 1,000 views. And the founder and the fucking head of TradingView is telling us the difference between onshore versus offshore brokerages. Look at this. He's literally telling us what we should and should not be doing. Okay? He breaks through all the back-end numbers. He talks about how much brokerages are making. He talks about, TradingView's role in the industry. Let me see. It gives out the history of the shit. Let me see. U.S. history of retail. There's a slide here that's incredible. This is it. So around 12 minutes in, he goes, U.S. Forex brokers versus offshore Forex brokers. I saw people in the crowd shitting their pants. I saw some of the broker owners in the crowd sweating bullets. because he very accurately explains what you should look for in these platforms that you're using. So don't take it from me, take it from TradingView. He exposes the buy and influencer websites where you can literally go through and just buy a Forex influencer for them to post about your shit. So I highly recommend you guys go check out this video. It'll explain everything you need to know about onshore versus offshore. Dubai is still confirmed 100%. We're going to make that work no matter what. This is how we do it, baby. We confirmed Dubai. We're going to make that work. I know some people it's too far, and some people it's too hot, and some people it's do this. You have a whole year to plan for this. We are going to make this the most incredible event that the Forex world has ever seen. That's a guarantee. And if there's any promise I will make every single person on this stream today, is that if you invest in this ticket, not if, when you invest in this ticket, I promise you it will be the best money you have ever spent, both for the masterclass and for the FX Summit. Because we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that you get your money's worth times 10. We're going to make sure that we bring on guests that'll absolutely blow your mind and provide value for the most advanced traders all the way down to the beginners. The FX Summit 2024 will be that event to put Forex on the map again in the right way. Our job is to undo the damage that IML did, and that's what we're hoping to do. Can we get 5,000 people in Dubai? I believe so. I believe so. Dev about to go watch that. Thanks for sharing. Have a great weekend, gang. Thanks for another informative session, Roy. Have a great weekend. Right back at all of you. I love this stream, and I love all the Chart Addicts community members. Take it easy, all. Happy and safe trading. Peace.